Etsy sellers, welcome back to my channel. And just like I have about 2 seconds to convince you to carry on watching this video and get invested, customers look at your product and you've got about 2 seconds to convince them to look further and possibly buy your product. This is an incredibly short amount of time. So let me explain exactly what is going on here to start with. Customers decide in 2 seconds or under. What do they decide in 2 seconds or under? This is what they decide. They decide you are the best bet. Okay? The customer looks at this square, which is your product photo. So this is your primary photo. This is all that I'm talking about today. Photo slot number 1. Okay? They look at this product photo and in under 2 seconds decide from this square photo on their screen if you are their best bet to purchase from, or at least in the running, right? Remember, you know what we're like as customers. We'll open 2, 3, 4 tabs looking for stuff. We're going to compare things. We're going to look at this, look at that. So you need to at least be in the running or be the best bet. Okay, so that's the first thing in your primary photo slot. Immediately after that, this is what needs to happen next. So the next thing, when the customer puts you in the running or decides you're the best bet, this is the next thing that needs to happen. The customer, and I know this is going to sound crazy, needs to understand what the product is, right? Now, you may think I'm stupid for saying this, right? You'll be shouting at the screen, of course they know what my product is. And I say, really? Because the amount of shops and sellers listings that I look at where the photography confuses what the product is astonishing. Okay, so yes, you can have a necklace, a bracelet, a chopping board. You know what the product is, but depending on how you display it, how many props, how many assets you put around the product, then the waters start to become a little bit muddy sometimes, and it starts to become a little bit confusing. And guess what happens if the customer doesn't immediately know what the product is and what they're getting for their money? They get confused and they start asking questions in their minds. Do I get that with it? This bit that's shown in the photo, does it come with that? Do I get all of it? If anything like this is happening, the customer's not buying from you, because the customer is asking questions. Customers asking questions in their mind when they're looking at products to buy is the worst possible situation you can be in. By being a best bet, you're being trustworthy. Your photo gives them enough initial information to feel comfortable and trust you to then move into the product and look at the rest of the photos in the video. Remember, we're looking at the window to your product soul. Photo slot number 1. I'm not dealing with anything else. This is how you make clicks and make sales or lose them. Be the best bet, explain what the product is. And guess what comes next? If you can do it in the first photo slot, after clearly showing what the product is, the next one is what it solves. Okay? What problem, what need, what want does the product solve? And this works with this. If you get this right, you're more likely to get this right. Now, this is really important, what it solves. Again, you'll be looking at your screen going, Nick, we know this, we're not stupid, but listen to me, right? Let's take a hat, for example, okay? If you put a hat on a bust, a head, you know, a polystyrene bust or something like that, a head, or put it inside a light box, and you take your pictures and your video of the hat, okay, technically you've solved this bit. We know what the product is. We can see, our brains say it's a hat, right? But we don't clearly see the hat solving the problem. Now we're losing the customer. Yes, we know it's a hat, but it's no good unless you put that hat on a head in a nice model shot so that now we can connect to the product in use. What it solves is shown by showing the product in use. Do you see how? And look at and think about your products now. If you've got jewellery, where's the jewellery? Have you got necklaces on tables and bits of rock and whatever, anywhere but putting them on a neck, right? Have you got t-shirts folded up and laying on a table, a flat lay? That doesn't give you context. You can't connect to that. So do you see, actually, even though these might have appeared ridiculously simple things for me to point out to you, actually, there's many ways this can become confusing. And I see so many sellers doing this, really genuinely. This is absolutely how it is. Confusing products, not clear in what it solves. And these two things are paramount for you to be the customer's best bet. From there, there's one more thing you've got to do. Remember, it's just this little square, this one square on all of your products that hinges your chances. It hinges whether you're going to be successful or whether you fail or not. Here's the last bit, and it's so obvious, but we're going to go into it again. So that primary photo slot, that product shot, must be well photographed, right? So let's understand in this square what makes you successful, right? First one, product front and center, okay? So literally your product in the square photo, it needs to be like that. Front and center, right? Clear, hardly any props around it, minimal distraction, minimal fuss, product front and center, right? Next thing, well lit, evenly. You need even, well lit product shots, okay? So uniform light, don't use sunlight. Don't have no shadows, no sunlight, right? If you're using mock-ups and you do digital stuff, this should be easy. The mock-ups take care of this all for you. If you're doing physical products, which is more what this is aimed at, you've got to take care of these things, right? Don't have your product off to one side. Make sure the light's even, no shadows, no sunlight. Literally no confusion in this first shot. This is like a taster. It's like a starter to a 3 or a 5 course meal. You want to look at this and just want to dive in and look at the other 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 photos and video to tell the story of the product and why the customer should buy from you. That's what this is about. Convincing the customer. Why are you their best bet? And convincing them to buy from you, because there isn't anybody else that can do this as well as you can. So do you see how this single photo slot, customer makes these decisions in 2 seconds? Think about us as buyers. Go and use the Etsy search bar now. Go and search for stuff. Look at how quickly your eye decides what is good, what is the best bet for you. It's super quick. 2 seconds or under. Often it's under 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds. That's so short for you to convince. This is why you've got to do all this. Once the customer is in, it's like entering a shop. Once the customer is in, greet the customer if you're in a real shop. Talk to them, make them feel comfortable, sell to them. It's the same with your listing, photos and video. Make them feel comfortable. Make them feel like they can trust you. Move the customer through the buying experience. Step by step, photo by photo, video by video. So, this is why you've got to capture those 2 seconds from a customer and be a leader and convince them you are their best bet. Let me know if this video has helped you. I'm really looking for feedback moving into 2026, what you want to see from me in terms of content. Let me know. If it's not more like this, let me know what you do want. And as always, if you want to work with me, don't wait. don't guess, the booking now button is coming up that takes you to a booking form to book a free discovery call with me on Zoom so that I can work out how in paid consultations, mentoring or my academy, how to help you build a successful Etsy business. I look forward to catching you in the consultations and catching you in the comments. Cheers.